The Battle of Matanikau was a series of engagements that took place from September 23 to 27, 1942, on the Solomon Islands, during the broader Guadalcanal campaign in the Pacific War. The battle involved U.S. Marine Corps forces fighting against Japanese troops near the Matanikau River on Guadalcanal, one of the key battlegrounds in the struggle for control of the island. The battle was part of the ongoing efforts to secure Henderson Field, the strategically vital airstrip on Guadalcanal, which was under Allied control after the U.S. Marines' landings in August 1942. Strategic context. After the U.S. Marines captured Guadalcanal in early August, they faced continuous Japanese efforts to retake the island. The Japanese Imperial Army launched several counterattacks to disrupt Henderson Field and cut off the supply lines for the Allied forces. The Battle of Matanikau was part of a larger series of Japanese offensives aimed at reclaiming key positions on Guadalcanal. In response, U.S. Marines, bolstered by reinforcements and air support, prepared to defend their positions along the Matanikau River, which was becoming a focal point in the battle for the island. The Japanese aimed to infiltrate this area to launch further attacks on Henderson Field and the nearby American forces. The battle began when a Japanese force, comprising around 1,500 troops, launched an assault to seize control of the Matanikau River and push toward the American defensive positions. The U.S. Marines, led by General Alexander Vandegrift, had entrenched themselves along the river, with a defensive line formed by a mix of infantry, artillery, and machine gun positions. The Japanese forces, despite their initial strength, faced numerous challenges. The dense jungle terrain, combined with continuous American air support and artillery fire, made it difficult for the Japanese to sustain their attacks. The U.S. Marines, using superior firepower and their knowledge of the terrain, repelled several Japanese attempts to advance across the river. The battle was notable for its fierce jungle combat, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Marines utilized effective tactics, such as ambushes and coordinated attacks, to blunt the Japanese offensive. On September 24, Japanese forces launched a major assault, but were once again pushed back by American artillery and naval gunfire. This continued for several more days, with the Japanese suffering devastating losses. Outcome and significance. By September 27, 1942, the Japanese forces were forced to retreat from the Matanikau area, marking a significant victory for the U.S. Marines. The battle was a key moment in the Guadalcanal campaign, as it successfully halted the Japanese attempt to retake vital positions and disrupted their efforts to recapture Guadalcanal. The Japanese were unable to achieve their goal of cutting off the American supply lines or retaking Henderson Field. The battle also highlighted the resilience of U.S. Marine forces, who continued to hold crucial positions despite repeated Japanese assaults. The Japanese forces, on the other hand, faced mounting casualties and were forced to reconsider their strategies as the Allied forces strengthened their hold on the island. In the larger scope of the Pacific War, the Battle of Matanikau contributed to the growing momentum of Allied successes in the Solomon Islands, marking the beginning of a series of Japanese retreats from Guadalcanal and a shift in the balance of power in the Pacific. The victory at Matanikau helped solidify American control of Guadalcanal and marked a turning point in the struggle for the island. It demonstrated the effectiveness of American air support, artillery, and the Marine Corps' tenacity in the face of fierce Japanese counterattacks. The battle was a precursor to the eventual Japanese withdrawal from Guadalcanal and paved the way for Allied offensives that would ultimately drive the Japanese out of the Solomon Islands. The Battle of Matanikau was a testament to the brutal nature of the Pacific War and the challenges both sides faced in the jungles of Guadalcanal. It remains a significant chapter in the Guadalcanal campaign, which was one of the first major Allied victories in the Pacific and a key turning point in the war against Japan.